Howdy there, folks. I am the Psychic Pineapple, and today I'm going to be finishing my very first Nuzlocke. Let's get started. First up is Tasha. Oh, whoa, wait a sec. Is that a shiny Fennekin? I think that's a shiny Fennekin right there. That's cool. Now, after that, there's also the matter of the encounters I find between this and the next gym or major fight. That would be Uni a Pidgey, Surfboard a Bidoof, and for some reason, I kind of feel like this Weedle right here is going to become a Pikachu later in life, so that's what I'm going to name him. And I guess it would finally be time to fight the first gym leader, Cello or Viola, because I keep making this stupid joke in every X and Y video. I make my way to her gym pretty easily, and I lead the fight with Uni, because Surskit would be very dangerous against Tasha because of the water typing. However, something terrible happens to Uni here. She gets infested, meaning I can't switch her out if anything goes wrong. Thankfully, however, she's able to finally kill the villain, even after taking quite a bit of damage herself. My next encounter on a route is Flabebe, which is probably going to be useful unless Uni didn't crit it and kill it, so okay. No encounter this route. Great. I reach Lumio City, and I choose Squirtle as the Pokemon I received from Sycamore, and that will be my encounter for Lumio City. I name him Genbu. Alright. Another route, another encounter. And guess what? It's an Abra! Oh! If I don't catch this guy first try, that's another encounter down the drain. But I catch it first try with a Pokeball. Hell yeah, I named this dude Randy. So yeah, the rest of this route's pretty easy as well. I just get to Tierno and kill his Corphiche with a Pikachu. I also catch an Oddish I named Grass. When running to Versailles, I fight a trainer and she sends out this weird yellow thing that she calls a Pikachu. But it doesn't look like any Pikachu I've ever seen before. I tried looking online to see what people think about the Snorlax encounter here as well. And something I've seen is them considering it separate due to it being forced on you. So I'm gonna kind of do the same thing here. Which is a pretty good idea because I also killed it. So, my actual Route 7 encounter is the 4% for Flabebe that I named Fleur because I missed the other one and killed it. The next major fight is against Clemont. It goes very easily. My Pikachu kills his weird yellow rat thing and even poisons his Flabebe. However, Corphiche does a number on him, so I swap into Randy, who takes a big hit, but is able to kill. I also get to the connecting cave in the Zubat area and, unbelievably, find a Zubat, catch him, and name him Bold Mouse. Route 8 is up next. I find and catch Drifloon, who I name Blimp. Now, I just kinda forgot how much stuff there is between Gym 1 and 2. Just think, all this past thing, I haven't even gone to Gym 2 yet. This is everything. And after clearing the troubles of Versailles, I have to go to the Glittering Cave to deal with Team Flare. Because yeah, keep delaying Gym 2, that's wonderful. I also get a few more encounters here. The first is Lizard, the Helioptile, and Thwack, the Cubone, and also Team Flare. Genbu deals with the first one pretty easily. However, the second poisons him and I have to send Randy out to kill Gulpin. Then I have Confusion, which confuses and kills Electrike with self-damage, which is wonderful. It finally worked in my favor for once, and I still hate it. I end up picking the Jaw Fossil. Insert my dry bread joke here, but no, seriously, do comment and stuff. It really does help. But I'm not planning on using it. I have to wait a bit before I can revive a fossil that I want. Instead, I return to the cave after getting Rock Smash and pick up the old Amber to use, and pick up the Aerodactylite as well. And hey, with some hindsight, that may have been kind of a weird decision. The only rock move the physical attacking Aerodactyl gets is Ancient Power, and the only other one is learned at a level well past what you need for the Elite Four. I also don't get the opportunity to name him right now. I'm gonna have to wait till I get Fly so I can go back to Camp for Town to that, because I don't want to backtrack, like, that'd just be painful right now. Next up is Gym Leader Grant. I do have an idea against Zamora. Pikachu does learn Toxic Spikes, so I'm gonna send him out first to try to see if he can survive just one hit. And hey, he does survive, but he gets paralyzed instead, so I swap into Genbu to kill Amora. It does take 2 or so hits, but his speed was slowed by Rock Tomb. I have to swap into Thwack to finish the job due to how damaged he got, and Thwack ends up killing. That gets me my second gym badge. So far, no deaths. I'd say that's pretty good, but I do get ambushed by a Team Flare Grunt and do a ton of swapping to kill it without losing anyone since Aerodactyl doesn't know any rock moves yet. I also add John, a Hawlucha, who I don't know why I named him John, Dawn the Zaravia for a fairly more obvious naming reasons, and also I put a Mr. Mime in the box and I name him France. The Tower of Mastery is next. Right here is a fight with Clemont, and after the gym, another fight with Korrina. So let's go with the Clemont fight first. He leads with a Meowstic, so I lead with Thwack. She misses twice in a row and takes some big hits, but she still kills it. Out next is Frogadier, who I'm way too familiar with due to my Litwick only run in this game. Seriously, it was painful. Randy ends up killing while being dangerously close to dying as well. Out last is the Absol, so I swap into Aerodactyl, who only had one stab move at the time with Ancient Power. It doesn't do any damage whatsoever, but I still keep him in since he resists all the attacks that Absol is using. Ugh. Now then, I feel like Randy has nearly died, like way too much. So let's give him a little bit of a boost. I boot up another 3DS and get to see a very familiar face. I receive Maya the Litwick temporarily and send her back to receive a now fully evolved Randy. And now, it's finally time for Korrina, and with my brand new Alakazam, I feel like I'm fully prepared for it. And I start out by setting up a Reflect, just in case, but it doesn't really matter. Randy slaughters Korrina's entire team. Now honestly, I'd love to say more about it, but I'd just be repeating the phrase, Randy killed with a Psybeam, too many times. Lucas the Lucario also joins my team now as well, after that fight with Korrina again. Now here comes a big shift in my team. I keep Randy, Thwack, Tasha, Pikachu, Lucas, and Genbu on my team. I also get a new encounter here, Sunny the Execute. I throw a regular Pokeball at her, and it catches at full health. I didn't really need to say that, but like, I thought it was pretty neat. The next Clemont fight has him sending out a Meowstic as Tasha misses 2 fire spins in a row and gets confused, so I have Pikachu come in and Pin Missile it to death. Out next is the Absol, and Pikachu does deal with it with Pin Missile, but still takes quite a bit of damage, so to avoid a death, I swap into Randy, whose Psybeam is stupidly powerful. Okay, have you heard of Ramos? He's also the Grass Gym leader in this game. Jumpluff is his first, so I lead with Tasha. She fire spins and then swaps into Randy because she took a bit too much from an acrobatics. Go-Go is up next and it tanks a Psybeam. So I swap into Thwack, who gets off a Leer. Then I swap into Genbu to damage, and then I swap into Pikachu to take a takedown, and then kill with a Pin Missile. Weepinbell is out last and he uses Acid, which barely does any damage, while Pikachu kills with a Pin Missile. Now it's finally time for my least favorite area, the Badlands, where I catch a Trapinch I named Fly. Now I finally reach the power plant, where I'm faced with a completely unnecessary amount of Flare Grunts. Like, I know we need to level everyone up and all, since the next major fight against the scientist and Flare admin here are at a pretty decent level. But damn, it's just the same few Pokemon over and over and over again. Doesn't stop me from loving this game though. Oh, and the Team Flare admin dies to a power-up punch. Not the Pokemon, just the admin. Boom, dead. Oh, yeah, I gotta fly to Lumiose now, but I, stopped by the name reader first to name Aerodactyl Bird. Okay, Lumiose City, again. Just hoping there aren't any power outages in Legends A to Z. Oh yeah, the next gym leader is Clemont. He starts with an Emolga, something I'm also very familiar with. But Emolga is all flying type, so my plan to sweep with Thwack won't mean crap. I'm probably also gonna take Pikachu and Genbu out of my party. His entire party is around 37 to 38. So I'm gonna move my party around to put minimal risk on my team. And I'm also gonna bring Surfboard just in case I need a clean switch. I'm sorry, Beverl, but like, I'm sorry. Okay, starting out, I bring out Tasha first and have her one-shot Emolga with a flamethrower. Clemont then stalls by his next Pokemon being Sturdy. Then Heliolisk dies to a flamethrower. Oh, wonderful. All that planning just meant nothing. Okay, yet another fight with Kayla. Meowstic is first, and it barely survives a flamethrower. Sets a polite scream. Absol is next, so I switch into Lucas. Have him Mega Evolve and Swords Dance. Greninja is all that's left, so I have Lucario punch it in one hit. Yeah, easy. So much easier than the last time I fought Clemont here. The next route, I end up catching a Gumi and I name her Girl Phelan. I then have to sit through a bad story and move on to the next town. Valerie lives here and she's the gym leader of the Fairy Gym, meaning I should totally be using Flying Girl Phelan here. Or I could keep using Tasha. Starting off as a flamethrower against Ma, whoa, it's dead. Maybe Sylveon will survive longer? Oh hey, it does, and it dies next turn. Mr. Mime then goes and sets the Polite Scream, but fairly annoying. But hey, I Fire Spin and spam Flamethrower constantly. I win, obviously. Okay, Pokeball Factory, let's go there. Shauna does something, so I charge in and beat up some grunts who absolutely did not stand a chance. And you know, I should have noticed anyways, but since I always click through the dialogue, the Flare admin mentions that it costs like 5 million Pokédollars to join. Damn. Okay, the scientist whose name I can't remember gets to me in a double battle. Oh, it's over. Well then, I nab myself a Pawniard who I named Knife because I couldn't think of a better name. And no matter what, I'll still be uncreative, so I get a Beartic I name Bear as well in the Ice Cave. And being slightly more creative, I name my Sneasel I catch Snowball. Clemont gets another fight, and yeah, it dies to hail and burn from a flamethrower. Greninja then comes out, so I swap into Lucas. It then gets off a 5-hit Water Shuriken, and Lucas nearly dies to the hail. So I swap into Genbu, and I have him Aqua Tail the Flareon. Absol is last, and he nearly kills with a Crit Slash, but Genbu survives and Aqua Tails. Now then, the next town needs another gym leader, and this one's Olympia. She leads with a Sigilif. and I lead with Mega Bird and two-shot it. Out next is a Slowking who yawns and puts Bird to sleep. I then go in for a very risky move, because for some reason, I thought Beedrill was Bug Flying type, not Bug Poison. I send him in, and he dies to a single Psychic. Oof. Poor Pikachu. I'm so sorry. My first bird Pokemon dead here, due to my stupidity. Okay, Lucas is out next and kills with a Bone Rush, which is also very risky, because you know, he's a fighting type, but yeah, that sucks. And I'm just gonna bring Knife into my party to take over for having that stab coverage against Psychic types. I also nabbed Ball the Azurill back on Route 22 because I forgot Route 22 existed. Okay, a big thing erupts from Geosenge Town, so I quickly run over there. I go up against Lysander. He starts with Minshao. I have Dawn kill with an Aerial Ace. Oh yeah, I also put Dawn and Snowball on the team. And speaking of Snowball, I swap into her and she instantly dies. I then send Gangboo out to damage Gyarados, however, it starts an Outrage, which means I can safely swap into Tasha and have her Psychic it to death. Pyroar is out last, takes a devastating Dark Pulse, but because she doesn't kill, I'm sure I can finish off the Pyroar here. Another Psychic kills. Thankfully, the swap into Knife works out as well, as if I didn't, someone would have been hit with a devastating Retaliate from Honchkrow, who dies in 2 Metal Claws. And now it's finally time for the long haul of partner battles. Most of them are easy. I only have to switch Dawn out once or twice due to a Manectric, but the rest of them just die. It's a massacre. Then, some people pull a reverse Cold Steel and teleport in front of me. Oh, right. I also get to catch Pourquoi, the Yveltal, and I guess I kind of forgot to remove Snowball from my party, so I'm just going to put Pourquoi on my team, replacing the dead Snowball, because I don't have any rules against using legendaries in this, because again, this is my very first Nuzlocke attempt that I feel like I'm actually going to complete, so this is easy mode Nuzlocke right now. Lysander part 2. I'm also forced to lead with Yveltal here, Pourquoi here. Okay, Minshao goes down to an Oblivion Wing, as does Pyroar and Honchkrow. I swap into Lucas against Mega Gyarados, and he eats a nasty Aqua Tail. He's almost dead, so I swap him out into Knife, who instantly dies to an Earthquake. I should have seen that coming. I send Dawn out to Intimidate, but that Aqua Tail is a beast of an attack, but it doesn't matter. I remember Dawn has close combat, and once more take advantage of Mega Gyarados being a Dark type, and instantly kill it. And finally, Shauna is next. She starts with a Delcatty who dies to Bulldozes, then Gudra dies to Dawn's Aerial Ace. Chestnut is next, so I swap into Tasha to finish it off. Tierno then sends out Talonflame and hits a devastating Acrobatics against Genbu. Roserade is out next, so I send Tasha in again. Obviously, Tasha one-shots. Crawdaunt is out last, so I swap into Lucas to close combat, because he took a big hit from it. Thankfully, you do get hailed before Trevor, so I have Fly use Bulldoze to one-shot. And then I swap into Tasha and Flamethrower. Aerodactyl is last, and thankfully it misses 2 Supersonics and dies in a single Aqua Tail. The last gym. It is Ice type. Can you believe it? And Scarlet and Violet's gym is also Ice type, but I also love Scarlet and Violet, so I'm just gonna be willing to look past that. Oh, right. I probably forgot to mention that I also pick up Tornado, a Girder. Now then, Flying and Dawn have both had a permanent place on my team in the party now. It's probably not the best for them to be here during the next gym, though. You know, the Ice one. But hey, Tasha and Lucas should be able to clear it out without much trouble. And now, Wulfric. You can see his team here on screen as well. And you know, I could do a play-by-play, like I love doing. Or I could just tell you the truth. I swept with Tasha. Literally, wasn't even touched once. Went first every time, and one shot. Like, why is he the last gym leader again? Oh, I also nabbed Cloud the Altaria. Okay. Victory Road, and that's finally the last fight against Calum. I have Pourquoi kill Meowstic with a Dark Pulse. Greninja eats 2 Oblivion Wings. Altaria confides in Fly as he Dragon Claws and kills. Absol Swords Dances only die the next turn, and Flareon dies to a Bulldoze. I read that out pretty quick, huh? That's because it was an easy fight. Okay, it is finally time for the Elite Four. Malva is first, because why not? I'm doing this in any order. I bring Tasha out and have her Psychic a bunch, wasting the full restores. Torkoal is out next, so I switch into Mega Evolve Genbu. He kills it in 2 hits. Talonflame then Brave Birds and deals a lot of damage against Genbu. And Chandelure is last, so I swap into Pourquoi. And it takes the bait and Shadow Balls. Because of it, it dies. Wickstrom is next, and I forgot to heal up, which is not good. I bait a rock move from Probopass and swap into Lucas, who Mega Evolves, and it's now time to boost stats with Power Up Punch and heals. Aegislash dies to a Bone Rush, Caesar gets one shot as well, and yeah. That was pretty easy. I don't know why I was worried about not healing. Seabold is the next Elite Four member. Dawn kills his Clouditzer with an aerial ace, so I swap into Lucas and kill with a close combat. Gyarados is next, so I swap into Pourquoi. He survives an Ice Fang as I swap him in during an Earthquake, and kill with Dark Pulses. Starmie then dies to Dark Pulse. Drasna is the next Elite Four. She sends out a Dragalge first, so I start with Tasha and hope she doesn't get surfed. Thankfully, she kills with a Psychic. 2 more Psychics kill Altaria. I decide to say screw it and have Tasha stay in. She gets dropped to 1 HP and then kills with a Psychic. Well, that's close. I'm taking her out. I bring Pourquoi back in, who flinches with a Dark Pulse and then kills with a second. And finally, I've made it this far. If I wipe here, then I'm done. Like, oh, that's gonna hurt being here at the final fight of the game. But hey, it's time for Champion Diantha. She starts with a Hawlucha, which dies to a single Psychic. Tyrantrum is next, so I swap into Lucas. I Mega Evolve, and to make extra sure, I close combat. I switch into Pourquoi and begin Dark Pulsing, and at least I waste all of her full restores. I decide to sacrifice Pourquoi here for the greater good, and for a clean switch to Lucas. He kills with a Power-Up Punch, and I doubt Gourgeist is going to go for a Ghost move against Lucas. And guess what? I was right. I get a nice clean swap into Tasha, who kills with a Flamethrower. Unfortunately, Tasha dies here to a Shadow Ball, because I forgot that she had Shadow Ball on her Mega Gardevoir. She's been with the party the entire time. It's a real shame to see it go, but hey, you did good, Tasha. Thankfully, Dawn is out next. She swoops in with an aerial ace and crits, killing Mega Gardevoir, securing me the win for this Nuzlocke. And I hope y'all did enjoy. Do leave a like and comment. It really does help. Like, you have no idea how much it really helps the channel if you like and comment, especially comment. I don't get comments, but I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.